Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, June 11th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. And, no matter how slow the week was, you still have to give these bulls real credit. Yes, they kept making new highs. Yes, they kept backing off. And by the way, if you watched this morning's video, we did exactly today like we did the other 4 days. The only day we did not do the same thing totally was Wednesday when we backed off and closed with the trend day down, only to be taken back yesterday. Otherwise, basically, carbon copies of each other for the week. The volume on the week, absolutely horrendous. Today's volume right now is, give me 1 second, 40, oh, no it's not, just under 40 million for the day. Now with the after hours, it's going to be a little more, but to put it in perspective, 238 million for the week. Last week was 4 days, we did 217, which was horrendous. So again, our higher prices continuing to cut off volume. Now, outside week up, we finish up about $1.50, $1.60 above it. So is it successful? Not really. I mean, yeah, they did a decent job, but they didn't run away. But on the flip side, each time the buyers failed, what did the sellers do? Nothing. So until that changes, I'm going to keep saying the bulls are firmly in control. I'm keeping all three indices up. We're going to recap all the charts on all of these. We had an inside day in SPY, inside day in triple Q, in Russell, triple Qs. Now they go out with price probes. Look at that. They took out the IB low, both of them, only to rip higher in the last time frame to take out the IB, both sides of the IB, and go out with price probe to the upside. They're 9 wide for Russell, 10 wide for triple Qs. We only end 8 wide. We just missed the price probe, but we do have a poor high today. So that's another thing that we have now. We have a poor high, and it's very close to the all-time high. So is there really any excess there? Not a lot. And the way Russell and Qs closed, again, they still have to get to their all-time highs and take out those overnight all-time highs. We'll see what happens next week when the Fed's going to be a huge catalyst. Now, as far as my trading today, I had a good day, and I didn't do much after D. I missed one trade because I was having some machine issues. I'll get to that. I did take a short in A period against the overnight high. I'm like, well, for every day this week, we've basically opened and went down. Well, so I joined the party today. I took the 426 puts, and that one turned out to be a very nice trade. I took a small long in B period because we were getting no tempo. The A short was 426 puts expiring today. I took the 422.50 calls. We weren't getting any tempo to the downside, but then I finally took it off and I don't like what's happening here. Took a small loss, and then I shorted C 425 puts against the single prints that worked out. I shorted D again for the same reason. We were one time framing down. Those worked out. The one trade I missed was G period. I'm like, yes, we have single prints in B still, but we were getting nothing with new lows in D, F, or G. So I said if we don't get any extension, I would look to fade it, but I was having machine issues. I didn't get a chance to do it. That would have been a trade that would have worked out from the long side. And then the only other trade I did was in K. I took a short once we filled the single prints, and it worked out. Came back in, rolled over. I took them off finally in L period. That was a trade that worked out. And then M did what M does. So, good week. It was a good week. Wednesday was a very light day, but Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, and today were good days. So, we'll see how that carries over into next week. As far as destinations, we have only 2 on the upside. 424.43, today's high and poor high. Yesterday's high, which is now a weekly high of 424.63, and the all-time high. Now, unless we make a new overnight all-time high tonight, that will be your 2 upsides. For the downside, now, here's where it gets interesting. Remember yesterday I said there's no downside destinations? Well, guess what? There's no downside destinations today until today's low. Now, yes, we do have an 8-wide POC. And I'm not going to ignore it, but it's not one I use as a firm destination or firm reference point that I write down. So 422.82, today's low. 421.55 daily low, 421.41 daily low, and now 420.32 is a weekly low, and then fill in the gap from June 4th, 419.99, 33-point gap. Now, let's go to all the charts, and let's break them all down. Okay? Let's start with Russell. Having a thunderstorm here, so I'm not sure if that's going to be getting picked up on the mic. So the Russell, we're still in a 4-month balance. So it's still balanced, plain and simple. Weekly. Look what we finally did this week. I told you we've been battling inside the week of March 22nd for 10 weeks. We closed above it. We closed above the 230.95 level. So the next destination on the monthly and weekly is the all-time high. So even though SPY keeps tiring out and not getting distance away from their all-time highs, Russell, and we'll go to triple Qs next, still haven't gotten their overnight all-time high. So that's why I think we still have a chance to get those and get more distance in SPY, and then we see what happens once that transpires. Oh, here comes the rain. Now, daily. So now the weekly, I'm going to call up in the Russell since they closed above that. So after 10 weeks or so of balance, calling the Russell weekly up. Monthly balance, weekly up. Daily, believe it or not, is balance. Let me just see something. Yep, daily is balance. Why does that look weird with the weekly being up? I'm going to call it up, and the daily, you know what? There's something. Oh, no, that's right. Okay, I apologize. So the daily, inside day, they one time framed up, right, for 3 days. Yesterday came into balance, and it remains balanced. So monthly up, monthly balance, weekly is up, daily balance inside day. It'll be important to see what happens when we come out of that for the Russell. Triple Qs. Monthly's balance, right? And both them and Russell's been in balance on the longer time frame. Now look at the weekly. We are coming out of, we took out this week's high, 340, closed above it, so the weekly's up. Very interesting the way Russell and triple Qs that usually go against each other now have the same monthly and weekly. Now here's the difference. Daily is up for Qs, unlike the Russell, which is balance. Not only is it up, it's one time framing up, 6 days now. Next destination, again, the all-time high. And they both have all-time highs in the overnight. Now let's go to SPY and ES. Now very important, next Friday SPY goes ex-dividend. And there's going to be a big disconnect between SPY and ES for at least a couple of days afterwards. I'm not sure what the dividend amount is just yet. Monthly, extremely healthy, right? Russell and Qs are balanced. We just keep grinding higher. Weekly, said I was calling it up yesterday. I'm still calling it up. So monthly's up, weekly's up. Daily, up. I called it up yesterday. I'm calling it up today. Yes, it was an inside day, but since yesterday was up, now again, it is subjective. You want to call it balanced because it's an inside day? Be my guest. I'm still calling it up. So all 3 time frames in ES and SPY are up. The 2 negatives is we're not getting distance away from the previous all-time high on a weekly or daily just yet. And the real important one is the volume absolutely stinks. I hope you had a great week trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. We have a lot going on next week. Fed Wednesday, PPI Thursday, expiration ex-dividend on Friday. Hopefully we get some movement on Monday out of the inside day. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.